Alcatraz, known simply as the Rock. It sits isolated in the middle of the freezing San Francisco Bay, a fortress designed for one purpose: to break the spirits of the most dangerous men in America. The warden and officials claimed it was inescapable. The security system was believed to be perfect, but they underestimated the minds of 3 inmates, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers. They didn't plan to use guns, dynamite, or violence. Their weapon of choice was far more subtle. They used patience and a simple metal spoon, stolen from the mess hall and sharpened into a tool. Night after night for months, hidden behind the shadows of their cells, they worked. They slowly chipped away at the salt-corroded concrete surrounding the air vent, inch by inch. But chipping concrete makes noise. To mask the sound of the spoon scraping against the wall, one inmate played the accordion during music hour. It created a perfect symphony of noise and silence, covering their tracks. Behind the heavy steel bars of their cells lay a secret, an unguarded utility corridor. This narrow shaft, filled with plumbing pipes, became their hidden highway to the roof. But escaping the cell was only half the battle. They had to hide their absence. The true genius of their plan lay in the art of deception. Using a mixture of soap, concrete dust, and toilet paper, they sculpted realistic dummy heads. They even applied real human hair, collected secretly from the prison barbershop to make them look alive. These decoys were carefully placed on their pillows to fool the guards during the night counts. This simple trick bought them the precious hours they needed to work. Meanwhile, they faced the challenge of the freezing ocean. Over several months, they stole more than 50 rubber raincoats. Using the heat from steam pipes and glue, they vulcanized the seams, engineering a functional inflatable raft and life vests right under the guards' noses. Finally, the night of June 11th, 1962 arrived. It was the point of no return. The inmates removed the ventilation grates and placed their masterfully crafted dummy heads on the pillows, tucking them in one last time. They squeezed their bodies through the narrow holes into the dark utility corridor. From there, they began the dangerous ascent, climbing 30 feet up the network of plumbing pipes to reach the ceiling ventilation shaft. Once they stepped onto the prison roof, they were exposed, but nature was on their side. A dense, heavy fog blanketed the island, hiding them from the watchtower searchlights. They silently carried their gear down to the water's edge, using a modified accordion concertina as a makeshift pump. They frantically inflated the yellow rubber raft. The moment of truth had come. At approximately 10 p.m., 3 men left the solid ground behind and pushed off into the freezing, pitch-black waters of the bay. They began to paddle, moving slowly away from the rocky shore until the thick wall of fog swallowed them completely. That was the last time anyone ever saw Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers. The next morning, the sirens wailed across the bay. The guards discovered the dummy heads and the tunnel behind the walls. The FBI immediately launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Helicopters scoured the air, and police boats gridded the water, searching for 3 men in a yellow raft. But the ocean gave up very little. A crude wooden paddle and a plastic-wrapped wallet containing personal photos were found floating near Angel Island. No bodies were ever recovered. Official reports concluded they likely drowned in the freezing currents and were swept out to the Pacific. However, surfacing evidence over the years suggests they might have made it to land. To this day, the U.S. Marshals keep the file open. The mystery of the only potentially successful escape from Alcatraz remains unsolved.